From this moment on, you will now be known as Sharkbait.
Sharkbait, ooh-ha-ha!
Welcome, brother Sharkbait.
Sharkbait, ooh-ha-ha!
Enough of the Sharkbait.
Sharkbait, ooh, but...
What's up, everybody? This is D, and by the title of this video, you know what you're going to see. You're going to see the most horrifying, despicable, disgusting, distasteful event you ever seen. Eating a bristleworm. Well, guess what? Hell no, I ain't eating no bristleworm because those are just nasty. But I will show you why. I go through my refugium, I pull the algae out, I take a look at what's in the refugium, and let's take a look at what I saw. Now, it's funny because you'll get a whole lot of different opinions on these little guys, and a lot of people get spooked out because they see things in their refugium they ain't used to seeing, but these are little bristleworms, or what you call when we go fishing, sandworms or bloodworms, or basically sea worms. They grow naturally where there's algae or bacteria. Anywhere that you have sediment, fish waste, you will get these guys. They will pop up out of nowhere. Now, whereas most of the time these guys are harmless, you can take a look at them. Most of the time they're harmless. These aren't the ones that leave their little spines in you. Of course, you don't want to handle them if you don't know what kind of worm they are. But these little worms here, some of them can leave those little barbs in you. They're furry looking ones, and they can mess you up pretty much. These aren't those dangerous ones, but I do find them all the time when I pull out this little algae. Now, the reason why I do this is because of two reasons. A, I remove the algae, which in turn removes nutrients, improves the nutrient removal from my tank, because it is the growth of the algae, not the algae itself, but the growth of the algae, which removes the nutrients from your tank. So as you remove, I'm trying to pull them out. It's hard to do with one hand, but you can see how many of them there are in there. There's quite a few of them. So to make it a little easier, let me use my little boys here, the tongs, because it's hard to grab these guys out in here, but there are quite a few of them. If you got a big refugium, you got plenty of them. Now, there are several species of fish, including mini rasps, that will actually feed on these. I don't bother going through all of that mix of trying to feed them the rasps and all of that stuff, but I do take the chaeto out in order to foster it regrowing, which in turn keeps removing the phosphates from my water column. And what I do with this, and look how many there are, there's probably more in here. I won't see them all, and I'm not worried about them because they're no big deal. But this, I just dump in with my mollies. My mollies feed on this algae, not the chaeto itself, but they feed on that mossy algae that grows in between the chaeto. And it's actually an excellent food supplement for mollies, because mollies are herbivores in nature, by nature. And it also helps in filtering the water and providing a place for the molly fry to hide. So these guys are no big deal. Now, there are different types, several types of bristleworms, and these aren't necessarily those ones that everybody worries about. These are little pipsqueak worms, but there are worms that get really long and can actually suck onto the side of your fish when they're sleeping. Not like you see that a lot of times, but there are worms that can get, I've seen them as long as 6 inches. I actually had one in my tank that was literally about this long, where I tried to pull it out the rock and it actually broke. So that was very interesting. These guys, not so much. So let me just dump this in with the mollies, and we'll talk a little bit. Okay, we're at the molly tank. I just do a little dumperoo. They think they're feeding. They don't know. I just take this stuff, spread it out a little bit, as you can see in here. It's really great at filtering the water. That's the sound of my auto top off filling the frag tank. But it's excellent at filling the water, filtering the water, because this is just a sponge filter in there. And the mollies have been in here for about 5-6 months now. I dumped this in there. Move out the way, fellas. And you can see they quickly go to work on it. I'll clean it up, move it around later. I'll fill that little spot with it. Or actually, I can do that right now with my little tool here. And it does an excellent job at filtering the tank. And you can see them going to work on it quick. They love that natural food source. They love it. And I'm hoping that I'll get another batch of fry. My little ones have gotten quite big, as you can see. Got a piece of callirpa sticking out back there. Hopefully that grows a little more. But just to dispute a myth about bristle worms, not all of them are bad. And the Chaeto does a great job at filtering your water column. Now for me, I don't have a reactor. I just have my beta box that's in the back of my little, what was considered my frag tank. And as it grows, I remove it and it regrows, and I remove it, and so on and so forth, and so on and so forth. And I move it here. Same thing with the pond fish. I have the guppy grass, and I got a little bit of pothos. I got some water lettuce, baby water lettuce growing in it. It's a great tool to filter your water, and it is probably the most healthy method of raising fry because it provides a natural cover for them, and all of the little microbes and foodstuffs that grow in that little weedy area is excellent for them to feed off of. Nothing's going to feed them better than the real stuff. So that's just a quick excerpt from D. Hopefully you weren't looking for me to eat no dang on bristle worm because you're out of your mind. So with that, I'm gonna be out, son. Love, peace, and hair grease. See ya, see ya, see ya. Wow. Could you even consider these fry anymore? Freshwater? Saltwater. Freshwater? Saltwater. Eat that stuff, boys, girls.